Scores of vehicles continue to move at a snail's pace at the Beitbridge border post. eNCA has spoken to drivers who spent days trying to cross with no success. They fear running out of food and money. Our reporter Slindelo Masikane is on the ground for us and joins us now live. Sli, we spoke to you yesterday. You were speaking to some of the truck drivers that were explaining how difficult it's been for them. They're running out of food. Some were raising how it's an issue of health hazards as well because their trucks are carrying dangerous goods. What's happening now? Is anything changing?
Much of the same, Clement. It seems as though the situation is getting worse, actually, because as my colleague Joel Matlala and I make our way up and down the N1 highway to see whether there's any movement at any point, and it just seems as though the trucks are at a constant standstill. I mean, if they are moving, they're moving maybe 5 meters after 5 hours, and I must say what's unfolding here is certainly a crisis. We find ourselves back at the end point of the N1, which is at the border itself, and we actually did drive into the border. Unfortunately, we don't have permission to be able to film inside, but the situation is much of the same, and we are seeing that trucks inside the border are also still queuing. So there's some movement when it comes to priority goods, so goods that have been deemed dangerous or need to cross the border as soon as possible. They are being escorted to the front of the queue by the National Traffic Police. Matlala is just going to walk with me just to show you to my right where the actual queue begins. You can see those priority goods that have been escorted to the front of the queue, but of course truck drivers who aren't carrying these goods such as gas are having to spend a minimum, Clement, of 7 days in this queue. That's just the minimum. So if you arrived today as a truck driver, you can expect that you'll only cross the border after 7 days.
And Slee, what are the authorities saying? I know that our reporter has been trying to get the Zimbabwean side and find out how they're fixing the situation. We will be speaking to the Minister of Home Affairs to find out how he's intervening in this situation. Are there authorities that are coming there to sort this out? Are there police that are stationed outside just to make sure that the truck drivers are safe as they are queuing there, especially at night?
That's actually one of the concerns, Clement, that when it comes to the evenings, that's when the truck drivers now also have to turn into security guards, because there is no security overnight for these truck drivers as well as their trucks and their goods. I have not seen any officials coming to the area. I was told by some of the officials at Home Affairs that the director, one of the directors, has been here last week, but I haven't heard of any real interventions from the South African side or the Zimbabwean side on how they're going to deal with the situation. It seems like the truck drivers have just really been left to fend for themselves. Even they are pleading with government officials to bring about some kind of intervention. And we also know that this queue is now affecting businesses, so local businesses such as truck stops that rely on these trucks to refuel are not seeing the same type of turnaround or the same traffic when it comes to trucks coming through, saying that they're losing up to 40% of revenue. Not only that, but now trucks and the businesses that are using these trucks are redirecting the routes and instead opting to use Botswana instead of using this particular route to the Beitbridge border.